Hey, Bev, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, just peachy peachy.
Have you ever tried these chili nacho cheese puffs?
Yeah, I didn't like them.
I do.
Do ya? They
Yeah.
had like no. It's like eating styrofoam with a little hot sauce on it.
I don't think they're that bad. They're about the same as the barbecue cruncher.
No. I love the barbecue crunchers. They're not the same at all. But I mean, I they were okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just there was like nothing to them. You know?
Yeah. I tried the what is it? The red berry crunchos or something like that.
Uh huh.
The cereal. They're pretty good.
Oh yeah. See, I don't like them. I like the oatmeal ones. The cinnamon ones. Can
See,
you
I
wait a
got the
second?
cinnamon.
I
Yeah.
have to make my shake because I've been doing really bad on my feelings. I'll be right back, okay?
Alrighty.
Joel's on here. Say something to Joel. Hi, Joel.
Hi, Joel.
Hello. Now, what was your name?
My name's Bev.
Bev.
Mm-hmm.
Bev. I'm reading a book that has the word Bev in it. Is it? It's for Beverly, right? I would assume, right?
Yes.
That's pretty obvious, right? So,
Well, you'll be surprised.
but no, I know about that name. I like the name.
Thank you.
So. And I think you were on this once before on a Thursday when I came on, weren't you? Were you
Yeah, I
on
was
one?
teaching it that day.
Okay, that was you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So are you thinking about doing the program or?
Well, she's helping me with my OCD. And so she's doing that. And I was talking to her before this meeting and she said, I got to go to this meeting. I said, that's right. It's on Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, this is on sleeping. Do you want to listen in? And I said, well, I guess I could.
Well, everybody is welcome.
So do you usually have the same people that come every Thursday or is it just different?
Pretty much the same. There's some days or some weeks rather, that some people can show up that others can't. But it's still pretty much the same people.
Well, I sure like Mary. She's just great.
Oh, I love her to death. I've known Mary for 20 some years.
She's told me a little bit about her life and it's been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a wonderful person. Heart of gold. She'll help anybody out and everybody.
So do you come to the Thursday nights every Thursday night?
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoy them.
Well, you get to the point where you get a pretty good relationship going. It's a lot of fun, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I am back.
So what's this drink you want? You have to drink?
Well, no, you can eat the poppers like she had or the crunchers, but you have to eat every 2 to 3 hours, something.
Is that just so that you keep from being hungry?
And it also keeps your blood sugar normal. When I started this, my blood sugar was 326.
Wow.
Now it's between 80 and 90. So it also helps that.
Yeah, what's kind of funny is that I told you about that book that I was weight loss book that I was reading that's written by Dr. Oz, one of the authors.
Mm-hmm.
You know who Dr. Oz is, right?
Yeah.
So part of his thing is his theory on his eating as well is the kind of what you're saying is that instead of eating like 2 big meals a day or 3 big meals a day to be able to kind of have a little bit more, snacks in between and try not to eat so much when you eat, right?
Right. Yep.
And so that's kind of sounds like what you're doing. So
Yeah, it is. And but he teaches you so much about being healthy. It's not just weight loss, it's how to be healthy. Like tonight's going to be on creating healthy sleep
okay.
and more energy. So it's on a lot of different things, but
So
that is part of it.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I've lost, as of today, 122.7 pounds.
102, really?
That is awesome. I'm so happy for
122.
you.
122.
Yep.
So do you have like a book or something like that you guys follow?
This and this. Yep.
What's that?
These are books that we follow. This is Dr. A's Habits of Health.
Okay.
And this is, it's called the Lifebook. It's kind of like an instruction booklet and journal all mixed into one.
Okay. But does that tie with that other book or?
Yeah, it does. But it helps you with creating a healthy mind. Hey, Deb. And it just helps you overcome it. Like a lot of people, whenever they're done with their diet, they go off, they eat whatever crap they ate before, and they gain it all back.
Gain it all back.
Right. This teaches you how to change your life and your mindset.
Okay.
It is really amazing.
Now
This is,
I was just going to say, this sounds kind of the same. What do you want to call it? The framework of it anyway sounds very similar to the Dr. Oz book.
oh, cool.
Because it talks about in there saying, diets are, go on diets that come off and you could just do a yo-yo kind of thing. He says you really have to get to the point where you understand why things are happening and then change your lifestyle. That's going to be a permanent kind of thing, right? It's not just a diet.
Absolutely. That's exactly what this is about.
Well, this even talks about sleep, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, it talks about every facet of your life, every one.
Hey, I'm dreaming a lot more. I've only been on this for, and I may be wrong, but I've only been on this for a little over a week with the Chinese herbs and stuff, and and I am actually, I still see that I'm waking up at night. So that's kind of that's the liver, right?
Yeah, that's the liver.
That's the liver. But I've noticed that I'm taking the Chinese stress relief, and I'm remembering my dreams much more.
See, well, right, good job.
Now, with that, I mean, it's only been a week. I didn't know if I was just being like overly hopeful or not, but
that happens for some people. That's an exception. That's a little sooner than most people.
Okay.
But that's okay.
And it may be just that I'm just more aware. I don't know, but I just think that's pretty cool.
Hey, Angie, you're on here twice. You schizophrenic today?
I know something's going on with my computer. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So I just joined on my phone too because I couldn't see you guys. Hopefully you're not hearing me double. Are you?
No, we're not hearing you double, but we see a little black box that says Angie Lingo, and then we see you.
It just stayed black, but my whole like all you, like I didn't see any of you guys, like the whole screen. I need my computer fixed, but so I joined from my phone so I could at least see you guys and hopefully.
Great.
Yeah.
So Deb, are you all ready to do this stuff?
I don't know how ready I am, but I did make it through the chapter.
Okay, would you mind? Well, we're going to do Angie's going to do her spiel first.
Okay.
We're going to do a little bit of checkup how everybody's doing. But would you mind? Because I believe in stuff that's not in this chapter. Would you mind terribly if at the end I would give some things that I have found work?
I'd be fine with that.
Okay, good. Thank you. So Angie, why don't you give us the spiel and then we'll start with
Okay. The following webinars and posts will include the personal testimonials of some coaches of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of our participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting any weight loss program.
Okay, thank you. All right, before we let Deb start, does anybody have any victories they want to talk about?
Bev needs to unmute and tell her victories. She is on fire.
All right, Bev.
I've just been walking a lot and watching my grandkids a lot.
Excellent.
She's been smoking me on the Fitbit.
So tell me about the walking. Is it like for so many steps or like 30 minutes a day or what is it?
I basically just go to our campus. They have a pond back there.
Mhm.
And my daughter goes back with me, and I have a friend that goes back and walks with me also. But we usually do about 4 laps, and each lap's about a quarter of a mile.
Okay, so how long does that take you to do?
If we just walk the laps and not stop for the bathroom and fill up our drinks and
Yeah,
all that, it usually takes about a half an hour each lap.
okay. That's interesting. And so is this walking part of this program? Forgive me, I'm kind of ignorant, so
No,
of
that's
what your program is. So
No, it is part of it. We have a movement thing and then exercise too. I guess the walking is considered exercise because it's not what you would normally do
yeah,
in a day. So it's considered exercise, but I'm just trying to get more movement because I have back issues and issues with my legs from last summer. So I'm just trying to build up the strength in them
absolutely.
and get a little healthier.
Same. That's my choice of exercise as well as walking, because that's something that I can do. Because like Bev, I have a back injury, so doing a lot of bending and thrusting and stuff doesn't work for me.
No, it's you see those guys that do the marathons and all that stuff. It has to be so hard on the joints, some of those exercising. I just go, that's why I hate running. It's just, it's painful after a while,
Yep. Okay, well, let's get into this because then I want to hear what Mary has to say.
Okay, wait,
Always good.
before we start,
Okay,
I
sorry.
have to brag on Deb for a second because she started, I don't know what that background noise is.
yeah, I can't hear you.
It's not, somebody
Okay.
needs to,
I'm going to put myself on mute. Maybe it's me.
okay. Deb started the program in January-ish, right? Like the end of January. I don't know how much,
January 18th.
and how much have you lost now?
Well, after getting on the scale today, I am down 45 pounds.
40, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She is so awesome. Deb is so amazing.
Well, good for you, Deb.
Yeah.
Thank you. My
And
husband's
Deb-
happy.
And Deb has decided that she wants to help others, friends and family and stuff. So she just recently became a coach and has done like the coach. Yeah, she's done the coaching quick start this week, and she motivated me to do it again and refresh. And it's been so awesome. But you shared your why at the coaching quick start on Monday, and I think that you should maybe just share it here because I like literally brought tears to my eyes, and I was like, I'm so glad I wrote Deb.
If I can remember, I didn't write it down. It just came from my heart.
You're getting verklempt.
Yeah. This has literally changed my life. It's like Mary was telling Joel earlier, this is not just about weight. This is about the whole person, the mind, the body, the spirit. And I am so happy with the results that I'm having. I'm so happy with getting to be with you guys every Thursday night, and we get to share with each other and hear each other's voices and see each other's faces for the most part. And, you know, as I'm getting back out into the public with, you know, after this COVID thing, I'm seeing people that I am dying to help. And I did share a thing on Facebook a few weeks ago, the first time I did the class. And I had a lot of people tell me more. And I haven't gotten back to them because it freaked me out. It scared me. But that's my why. It's like, my intent on having a better life, being a better grandma, being a better wife, but being a better me, just feeling better. I want others to have that too. I'm sorry, I'm on my phone because I'm at my brother's, so I kick the kids outside, and so I have to, my bifocals, this way you're blurry, this way I can look at you and see you. But this is life changing. And I tried Weight Watchers, and the gal that they put me with was just an ornery person. And I didn't do anything. It's like, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to be with her, you know? And I've done the HCG where I had to give myself a shot every day. I've done Jenny Craig. I've done all sorts of different things, and I've always gained the weight back.
Yeah.
But this is changing my lifestyle, my life. And I'm excited about that. It's so full of positivity that, you know, it's like, this is what America needs right now, is more positivity. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just saw a video of some gal clocking a stewardess because the stewardess told her to put her seatbelt on. And then on the report, they said usually they'll have like 120 incidences in a year, and they have over 1,500, and it's only May.
Well, yeah, people are shutting it in their little world to get isolated, and it's not healthy.
Yeah. It's scary, but I have my body and soul group, and it makes me happy, and I'm losing the weight, and it makes me happy. And like I said, it makes my husband happy, and he's thrilled because I'm always poo-pooing going on trips, because honestly, I've always been afraid that they'd have to bring me a seatbelt extender. And, you know, I never want to take a swimming suit. And I started looking at swimming suits today. So I'm excited. So yeah, that actually is a win for me. Actually pulling up the website and starting to look for.
Absolutely, that's a win.
That's a non-scale victory for me, because buying a swimsuit is one of the hardest things I will ever do. It's always been a hard thing for me.
Yeah, my wife was the same way. She, you know, that wasn't a pleasant thing to find one that fit right, you know.
Well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, Deb, but I just wanted everyone to hear it and to share that.
Well, thank you, Angie.
You can start your class now that we know how awesome you are.
I think everybody here is awesome. Okay, so you guys were talking about sleep earlier, and that's what our chapter is on today, is how do you create healthy sleep and an unlimited energy? And I read out of the Dr. A's Habits of Health book yesterday. I read that one first, and then I got this one done today. And, you know, it's like focusing on optimizing your sleep is huge. And I told you guys this weeks and weeks ago, or even months ago, but I used to have a clock where I would wake up around 6 o'clock automatically. And I miss that, because now I'm getting up around 7 again, but I need to get up even earlier, because that hour, that 6 to 7 hour, was mine. It was my own. Nobody else was awake in the house. And I miss that. I really miss having that alone time. But I was also helping my brother out has kind of screwed up my system, because I don't get home sometimes until 11:30 or 12. And I still have to take my nighttime pills. And my nighttime pills make me very drowsy. And I think that's another reason why I'm also sleeping longer, is one, I need to have as many hours as I can get. And so getting 7 hours is pretty decent, but I want that extra hour. I want to get that back. So I'm hoping that things here get better for my brother-in-law. It's like I have my selfish reasons, but I have my altruistic reasons. There's all these reasons, but it's like I want my life back. But I want my brother-in-law to get well enough that he can come home for whatever time he has left. He has a pulmonary, unless he has even if he gets a lung transplant, which he does not qualify for now, the lung transplant would only give him 8 to 10 years. But right now, we don't know how long he has. Anyway, I want that hour back. But anyway, as a key physiological drive, the urge to sleep, much like hunger and thirst, plays an essential role in creating health and well-being. We are designed to live a third of our life in a state of unconsciousness. I would take more than that. I used to sleep so much as a teenager. And yet modern life has reduced sleep for most into a luxury, which fits the cracks of our overcomplicated lives. And in reading in the Dr. A's, the other book, he talked about, it probably says it in here too, I can't remember, but he talks about what it was like in the early days before light bulbs and before, really before people had indoor lighting, how people naturally would just, go to sleep because nothing else to do. It's dark, can't do anything. And how light has actually disrupted the way our body, it took care of itself. Okay, so it says, I have all these things underlined. It says, data shows our health and well-being are taking a significant hit as we ignore proper rest. The research gathered over the last decade is starting to uncover the key role that sleep plays in maintaining optimal health and the necessity of a good night's sleep to not only our health, but our survival. One study designed to test the vital importance of enough sleep purposely deprived rats of sleep, and the results were startling. All of the rats died within a month. Oof. Okay, so I always have a nap on Sundays. I don't know about you guys, but Sunday is my day to have a really good nap. And the Sundays that I don't get that nap, I feel it. My bones ache when I don't get that nap. It's like there's a heaviness in my body that does not go away if I don't get that nap. And it talks later about naps and how important they are. They actually, you can make up, if you're only getting 5 to 6 or whatever hours, you can make some of that up by having naps. So that was something that I thought was great, because some of us have a really hard time making it through the night. I know a lot of women who have, what is it called? They can only sleep 2 hours at a time because they're just not able to turn their brains off, I think. The role of sleep has an important role in optimizing many of our systems, from the inner workings of our immune system to proper hormonal balance, to our emotional and mental health, to learning and memory, and even clearing toxins from our brain. One of my medications is progesterone. I had a complete hysterectomy in my 30s because of things going on down there that would have killed me. But by having that complete hysterectomy and taking my ovaries and not being able to, my body can't make the progesterone. I kind of went crazy for a while. I will tell you, I was nuts. And I would scream, the kids would drop something and I'd, what you doing? And stuff like that. I had no self-control. There was just something, always on edge. And it took me years to find a doctor. When I finally figured out what was going on with me, well, I kind of figured out what was going on with me. I realized it was a cyclical thing. I had major depression. I had all these things. My weight was going up. But I also realized that it was cyclical. It was a monthly thing where it would get worse, and then it would kind of get better, and then it would get worse. and then want to kind of get better. And so I found what I thought was going to be a help. I found a woman doctor. I thought a woman doctor will be able to understand what I'm going through and help me. Well, she was young and she was from India, and she saw a fat white woman who was depressed, and she put me on Prozac, which actually helped for a couple of months. That gave me a chance to actually breathe. But when I figured out that it was a cyclical thing, and I went back to her and asked her, is there a way that you can help me with my hormones? The Prozac's not working anymore, and I don't want more Prozac. I want to fix my hormones because I feel like that's going to be the best thing for me. Well, she said no. She tried to give me a prescription for a stronger dose of Prozac and told me to lose weight because I was a depressed woman. You know, she goes, you're fat. And that's all she was seeing. And that was what I got from her, is she was only seeing a fat white woman, and she wasn't listening to me. It took me 2.5 years of making doctor's appointments with other doctors and getting to those appointments. And so a lot of money with all these appointments, but I kept trying to find a doctor who would work with me. So after 2.5 years, I did finally find a doctor who helped me with my hormones. And I knew that my ovaries were gone. So he put me on bioidentical hormones, progesterone, estrogen. My thyroid was gone. My cortisol was depleted. He put me on all sorts of stuff like that. So let me tell you, the cortisol one, the kids would drop something. I could turn it, I could look at it, and I'd say, oh, shoot, that's sad. It was amazing, the difference. My husband was thrilled. He got his wife back, the one that he had married, 30 years ago. But my kids got their mom back. I wasn't a screaming, raving lunatic anymore. And like I said, the progesterone makes me very sleepy. So when I take the progesterone, I have a really good night's sleep. And that has changed so much. I wake up and it's not, I got to get out of bed. I wake up and I do my stretches because of plantar fasciitis. So I have to stretch my feet before I can get out of bed. But I'm awake and I feel okay because I actually had a good night's sleep. And so I got in a routine. And my routine's in a mess right now, but I need to get a routine back. And so I've been yelling at my brother. It's like, you get home so I can go home so I can go to bed. But he also needs to go to bed because he was screaming at his kids the way I used to scream at my kids. Anyway, sorry, that's not in the book, but that was my experience with not being able to sleep because my mind was constantly racing. Angry, racing, depressed, all sorts of things. Hormones have a huge deal to do with this. And I think also losing weight also helps with the hormones because as we gain the weight, as we have the weight, it screws up our hormones. So, okay. It says research shows that people who have fewer than 6 hours of sleep had a higher likelihood of becoming obese. These are not good odds if your goal is to optimize our weight management system. Besides being very tired, the consequences for those that do not prioritize this vital habit will find themselves winding up sick, overweight, forgetful, and depressed. And one of the things that I read also is, and I have ADHD, so do my kids, so did my mom, so I knew where it came from. But they say when you don't get enough sleep that it exacerbates the ADHD and creates symptoms of ADHD in people who normally wouldn't have it. So I thought that was really interesting. He says in here, early to rise, excited to be up and about and ready for an optimal day. This is a highly engaged and productive day of accomplishing what is important to you, which concludes with deep satisfaction. And it's true. When I had that hour to myself, the enjoyment I had the peace, the things that I could read, I could stop, I could make a list of what I needed to accomplish if I actually took the time to do that. And I did sometimes. And I got so many things accomplished. It says, he says in here, personally, everything in my life that has allowed me to flourish is predicated by starting each day with an incredible level of energy that makes the day a joy to live. He says, quality, it is all set up by the quality of my sleep and supported by my naps when needed. It's my secret weapon. And that's true. I really thoroughly believe this. And it also stated in, I'm not sure if it was this one or the other one, because this is long, guys, this is long. People who don't get enough sleep or people who are driving around in a tired state are like drunk drivers. And they talk about people who have fallen asleep at the wheel and stuff like that. So if it's not in this chapter in this book, read it in 2.13 in the other book. There's a lot of information.
Can I say something? Can I say something,
Yeah.
Deb? I don't know if I told you or not, because I've been kind of busy, but we thought we should take, since there's so much information, 2 weeks to do this element.
Okay.
Do you think that's
Yeah.
doable?
Well, yeah, because I get go off the subject too, so it might take
No.
long.
I mean, before we even asked you, we looked at it, we go, wow, there's a lot of information, and sleep is huge.
It is.
In this. So we didn't want to skim over it. So I thought I told you beforehand, and I'm sorry I didn't. But so we're going to take 2 weeks to do this.
Sounds good. Okay. Also, he goes in here, you know, in the workbook, they talk about being a lark or an owl, and to figure out who you are. Are you a lark? You're up in the morning, or are you an owl? You're up in the evening. The literature varies slightly depending on the study, but the consensus is you need at least 8 hours of sleep every single night to be optimized. The range is 7.5 to 9 hours. The best way to find out is to measure what time you normally awaken in the morning by the end of a long vacation, assuming you have not been partying extensively. So, and that was when I started my getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. My husband and I had gone on a cruise, and we extended the time. We went, the cruise was out of Florida, so we went to Disney World because I had never been. And so we were gone for 2 weeks. And when I got home, we still had time off. We didn't use any alarm clocks. And it was perfect. We were in bed at 10 o'clock. We were zonked out, ready to go to bed. And I was up at 6. He stayed in bed a little bit longer, but I would get up at 6 o'clock, and that continued for over a year until other crap hit the fan. But I think that's a perfect reason to go on a vacation. Go on a vacation where you don't have to have an alarm clock, and just go to bed and wake up and go to bed and just enjoy yourself. And we've done 3 cruises now over during our marriage. And I love them because I'm not accountable to anybody. It's like if I do it, I told my husband since our last one though, because we always do the ones on the rooms on the inside of the ship because they're completely black. So I can go to have a nap and not be disturbed because it's just black. But after what happened with COVID, I said, oh, if we ever do a cruise again, we have to have a balcony. We're going to have to pay more money and have a balcony if something like this ever happens. So we were lucky to not be cruising when that happened, but yeah. Okay, and then I've actually, Mary, you've also inspired me. I've actually been writing in my book. I'm actually filling things in. Okay, so then we go over to the next page. I'm on 387. And it says, have you decided what time you need to wake up and immediately get out of bed? After doing this, then count back 8 hours. This is the time you must be in bed the night before, ready to go to sleep when your head hits the pillow, unless you're feeling frisky, it says, which made me giggle. So last night when I got home, my husband was still up. Sorry, this is crazy. You're all such a blur. So my husband was still up. So I turned off the overhead light, turned on his light by his side of the bed, brushed my teeth, got ready, took my pills, right back to bed out because I'd read the chapter in the Habits of Health book. And I went to bed and I had a sleep mask. I put the sleep mask on and I just started doing the breathing, and I just relaxed my body to try and get to sleep as fast as I could. And I also set my alarm to get up a little bit earlier today than I had been getting up, so that I can start my body to go back into that habit, so I can move it back to 6 o'clock. That the breathing habit that he gave us I do that every once in a while. Sometimes I send the boys outside and I sit there. This too shall pass. Okay, so that on this page right here, well, that's where I am, but I like better later on when we get to the nighttime ritual and the morning ritual logs. This I thought was really helpful. I don't know why, but I like lists. I like having things written down and knowing, because I have a tendency to forget, and I will jump out of bed because I've forgotten to do something and go lay down, and then, oh shoot, I forgot something else, and then I jump out of bed and I go do something else again. So it says, now that, okay, you have now set up a sacred interrupted time allotted for your habits of healthy sleep, and we will now break down each component customize for you. And then, why is it so important? Our circadian rhythm controls over 99% of our DNA. And 10,000 years ago, natural light, there we go, here it is, the natural light and very simple lifestyle allowed to function effectively. Today, with blue light and constant electronic connection and complex schedules, it's no longer a reliable or terribly effective clock. Our integrated habits of health clock is designed to create a reliable and specific schedule to reestablish adequate time, as well as a series of rituals and habits that will allow you to once again thrive and create optimal health one day at a time. Today is the only day we have control over. That, I had to underline that one and circle the today, because I like to plan. I guess that's why I like lists. I used to be the planner in the family, where I was constantly having dinners and things and get-togethers for my family to come over. And it was a stressful thing, but it was something that I thoroughly enjoyed, getting the family together. But today is the only day that we have control over. And somebody gave me that the advice when I got married. They said, you can only control yourself. Stuff is going to happen you have no control over on your wedding day. Just roll with it. And boy, did stuff happen. And so I gave my daughter the same information when she got married last month. It's like, things are going to happen. You just be happy with you two. You're getting married. Focus on that and let the other stuff go. Building an atomic clock will allow you to make this lifelong transformation one day and one habit at a time. The Habits of Health, Sleep, and Energy Clock shows you how you will plan and conduct your own personalized 24-hour habit installation that will allow you to consistently mask the daily doses that will build new behaviors. First, it's important to realize that the evening and the morning are the times when we have the most control over our day. Because everybody, people who have a job, once they go to work, they're really not in control. Once we are out of the door and on our way to work, our ability to control our own schedule becomes much more limited. Most people spend all day tied to a schedule that is usually designed, directed, and accountable to someone else. A world in which you are not the central focus. If we look at our day, you can see how we have control over some of our time, as in the hours immediately surrounding and including sleep, we have more potential control than any other area. So work, you have 8 hours, and it says most of us have little control. Non-work, 8 hours. We mostly are in charge, but have lots of commitments to manage. True. And then healthy sleep, 8 hours. Once you recognize the importance of sleep in making everything work, you can decide to have total control. I just want to be able to leave a room and not forget why I left the room to go into the other room. I'm hoping that getting better sleep is going to help my memory. And that's one of the things that it talks that it helps is the memory. Okay, so we go into the evening ritual. Since your evening ritual is what will set up those uninterrupted hours of healthy sleep, let's dive into how to create the best possible conditions to ensure great sleep. And then we have these. I don't have my computer here, so we're just doing the phone stuff. So as you create your own personal transition, you will need to put an intentional focus on finishing chores and work-related tasks or resolving any family issues earlier in the evening. The closer you are to getting your hour before bedtime ritual or twilight hour, the more mellow you will become. Dimming the lights and turning off the computer or putting on some soothing music are all helpful actions. As you get better at planning your transition time, you will feel your go system and stress level decreasing, thereby preparing you for the twilight hour to get your body ready for sleep. One of the things that it talked about in here too, we'll probably get to, is they actually have glasses, blue blocking glasses that you can put on in the evening time to start blocking the blue to, oh, is that, okay. I have some blue blocking glasses for my computer, but they also have some, if I put those on, then everything else is blurry. But they also have blue blocking light bulbs. Did you know that? They have LED blue blocking light bulbs. And I thought they're not cheap. I think the cheapest one I saw was like $10. But I thought if I put that in my husband's lamp, I can turn off the overhead and have that in the lamp, which would help our bedroom, bringing out, getting rid of that blue. So I've been scrolling on my phone since I've been here. It's like, oh, okay. So they actually have those. They have them on Amazon, and I've got Amazon Prime. That was something that happened since COVID, but it saved my butt. Okay, so seehabitsofhealth.com to download a blank checklist that you can fill in and make sure you finish the necessary things. So here's the thing that I told you, because I love lists. So we can download our own and fill our own out with the things that we need to accomplish, because everybody's different. I have my young adults who are living at home. I don't have little kids anymore, so I don't have to worry about putting little kids in here. But there's so much that you have to do. And that was one of the things that, they do talk a lot to mothers in here, because it's like, make sure your kids are in bed at least an hour before you go to bed. So you have that time. So you have that time after the kids are in bed. And I thought, yep, that comes in handy. So sleep disruptions. There's several, oh wait, I skipped some of the stuff over here. Okay, twilight hour ritual. Below is an example. We talked about that. So in hour 1, it says, all pets and children asleep. Run hot bath with salts or a shower. Thermostat below 68 degrees. Okay, so that was something else. Make sure your house is cool. You sleep better and have a deeper, more restful sleep if your house is cool. Clean up any clutter, all the blue light off, TV, computer, phone, take your medications, avoid any additional water intake other than a cup of tea. And this is an hour before you go to bed. Okay, 30 minutes before bed, out of the bath or shower, loose fitting, lightweight clothes, self-care, teeth brush, flossed, hair brush back, whatever. So cool down starts. Place chamomile, jasmine, lavender on pillow or sheets. And I know people have those essential oils that you can put that on a cloth and put that in there. So 15 minutes before bed, last minute entry into the book of life or journal, reading with blue light suppressant glasses, a few minutes of meditation, deep breathing, gratitude, room cold, dark, and quiet, sleepy time tea. Okay, now you're in bed. I've been in bed for all of that anyway. Use the restroom, then get in bed. Pillows and sheets organized. Prayer. Flip the switch. Excuse me. Cuddle partner. Message. Massage or foot rub. Then head on pillow. I love you. Hug a good night kiss. Mind off. And that's the hardest thing for me. And I think it's the hardest thing for women is turning off your mind. Because I think that's why he's trying to give us an hour beforehand, if we can try and get stuff and then get up before anybody, to have those times with nobody else interrupting your mind time, I think is vital for us. It says we want, okay. And they talk to you about going back to part 213 in Dr. Ray's Habits Health book, because there's several things that can affect our sleep. It says here we want to evaluate if our behavior and habits are an issue and to what extent they affect you in order to stop them from having a negative impact on our sleep. So it says write down on a scale of 1 to 10 how much these may be affecting your sleep. And okay, there's 12 things here, and I thought that I had to put them in order. So I was like, okay, this one might be 10, this one would be. So I was trying to put them all in an order, but it's like I had it wrong. So it's like alcohol, I don't drink, so that's a 0. Exercising in the evening, that's a 0. I hardly ever exercise. But it says do not see the value of sleep. I put that kind of as a 1 because sometimes I take it for granted. Caffeine is a 3 because sometimes if I'm having a migraine, I'll have a caffeine drink. And big meals at night, I try to have my lean and green early enough that I don't have to deal with that. So I put that at a 4. But inconsistent bedtime is a 10. Blue lights are a 10. Anxiety or mind racing, that's usually a 9 or a 10. So that kind of like, it's like, oh, so these are things I have to work on. Okay. It says now put them in descending order and choose below which ones you're going to work on first and what you're going to do. And then read it again in the Habits of Health book in 213 and Doctor's about sleep and unlimited energy for many ideas on taming these disruptors. And so basically I have a TV in my bedroom, but I really like the TV in my bedroom because I turn it on a lot of times to make noise because I like to be with my husband. And so I'm making noise that covers other stuff up. So next we will have some, we'll have some times that you can insert into your integrated habits of health clock to minimize the effects of some of these behaviors that you do not intend to fully stop. So bright line curfews, I like this, the bright line curfews. In order to manage some of the behaviors and habits which we may be having a negative impact on our sleep and energy, it's important to create bright lines. In legal jargon, bright lines are the boundaries we create and enforce by drawing a line in the sand of which can and cannot be done, of what can and cannot be done. They are lines that cannot be crossed. In terms of behaviors listed below, such as drinking alcohol or caffeine, it is usually better not to do these if you want to be the best prepared for sleep. But if we are unwilling to eliminate them at this time, we need to set hard curfews to help create a cue for the time we will stop this behavior in order to support our best sleep. And then he has down here an illustration shows what you should do, certain things. So 8 hours before you go to bed, no more coffee. 5 hours before bed, no more caffeinated products. 4 hours before bed, no more exercise. So Bev, stop walking 4 hours before. 3 hours, alcohol and heavy meals. No more, not after before 3 hours. 2 hours, work in serious conversations. 1 hour, digital sunset. I like that. It's the digital sunset. You're turning off the computer, you're turning off the TV, turning your phone. I've been learning to enjoy my do not disturb function on my phone. I'm on a Marco Polo string with my kids and my nieces, and that thing blows up in the evening time, let me tell you. So I've got my do not disturb on now, And I wake up in the morning and then I'll just go through all their videos and I'll respond to them then. Then in bed and lights out. So let me see where we are, because I think what we'll do is we'll do go through page 395 and then we'll do the rest next week maybe. Well, wait, no, there's a lot more. No, we'll keep going. Yeah, we've got 15 minutes, but I'll stop in 10. Okay. Changing your bedroom sleep architecture. And then it talks about removing the TV, cell phones, and blue lights, darken all the clocks and other devices that emit light. We used to have an alarm clock that you could actually put the light dim, but my husband got rid of that one. And I'm thinking, oh, we might need to get something like that again. Use special glasses that block the blue light or get special bulbs. Make sure your temperature is less than 68 degrees. Experiment between 62 and 68 to find the ideal temp for you and write down what is best. And okay, so the other night, I know that the weather in Pennsylvania is probably like it is here in Utah. 1 minute it's 45 degrees, an hour later it's 75 degrees. So the other morning before I came to be with my brother's kids, excuse me, I had to turn the heater back on because it was freezing. We'd had hail and stuff and the house was just so cold. So I turned the heater back on. But when I came home that night, I started feeling like I was sick. I started getting a really bad headache. And I thought, am I coming down with something? And it hurt bad enough that I couldn't go to bed because I knew I wasn't going to be able to sleep. So I just was trying to figure it out. And it's like, finally I realized, gosh, I'm really kind of warm. So I went and I looked at the thermostat. It was 75 degrees in my house. And it's like, okay, I have a hard time with the heat. I've had heat exhaustion before. And so heat really is a trigger for me for migraines. So I turned the air conditioner back on. It took the house about 30 minutes and I was able to go and lay down and go to sleep. But this is something that I learned when my kids were little. They were falling out of bed and different things. I learned when they were little to turn our thermostat down in the wintertime to 60, 62, 63 degrees. And they would stay in their blankets cuddled up. And I didn't have to go and get bodies off of the floor anymore and put them back in their beds because they were kicking their blankets off because they were overly warm. And I thought I was being a good mother by having a warm house for my children. But when I figured out that, the blankets were in a mess and that they stayed cuddled, they became very good sleepers. It says, make sure that you're not using a quilt which makes you hot. The idea for your body is to lower its core temperature to maintain ideal sleep. Also wear lightweight clothes for the same reason. I'm also looking into getting bamboo sheets because I understand bamboo sheets they're antimicrobial, so they're cleaner, but also that they wick away moisture because we tend to sweat when we sleep. So that it's a cooler. It helps with your sleep. So I'm looking into getting some of those. And so also, wear lightweight clothes for the same reason. If you cannot avoid outside noises, get an air filter that can create ambient noise or invest in a sound device that creates natural sound like an ocean, surf, or rainfall. Now, in the book, it says if you get the air filter, not only will you have the ambient noise if you need that, but you'll have cleaner air in your bedroom, which in my book, my husband suffers from allergies really bad. And I'm thinking that might be something that would be really good. The stress and anxiety factor. Research confirms that stress and anxiety are the #1 causes of poor sleep. The following are some of the best and easiest ways to consciously calm your mind. The easiest thing is to take control of your breath. I love that, and I will do that. Discuss how you are going to add this to your day and your rituals. 2, you stop, challenge, choose. To shake off negative self-talk or break up the loop that you're obsessing over, it's non-productive. Discuss how you're going to add this into your day and your rituals. 3rd, Take 5 to 10 minutes to meditate and bring yourself back to the present moment and into a calming state. Discuss how you're going to do this and into your day and rituals. Now, when I think Karen taught the class on the breathing, I found that if I actually really did that and I leaned back and I literally had to mentally relax my shoulders. And then I thought I was relaxed. And then I thought, wait, no, I'm not. And then I would go to each part of my body in my mind, and I was able to relax by closing my eyes, doing the breathing, and then literally feeling each part of my body and realizing I was still tense. And I had to mentally relax those. So I think that's actually a really good thing, is meditation, is learning how to meditate and to learn how to do that. So these can be used all day long to help you gain better control of your stress, anxiety, and thoughts. With practice, you can enjoy a calmer overall. And then, I do want to do this next time, because then it goes into morning. So I'm going to be done with this, and we'll start on 395, and we'll do the morning part next time. And then we'll let Mary have say what she wants to say.
Okay. When we're at convention, I'm going to grab Dr. A and say, guess what? I'd like for you to add something to your book. I've been working with, I used to be the worst insomniac on the face of the earth. I hardly slept. I couldn't sleep the right hours. And the one thing I wanted to say is most people have a weak liver. And people don't realize what happens when you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, for one thing, it's good to get some sunlight, because that stimulates the pineal gland so it can produce more melatonin. As soon as your body produces melatonin, the pituitary gland is triggered into producing something called ADH, antidiuretic hormone, okay, by the adrenal glands. So you should not produce urine all night long. If you have to wake up and go pee, that's because your liver is releasing a little bit of sugar when it's detoxifying itself, and the sugar turns off the ADH, that hormone. So I want to go over a couple symptoms of liver, and if you feel comfortable enough in doing so, if you have one of those symptoms, raise your hand, because you're not going to be alone, I promise you. Okay, either now or in the past, any kind of female problems, heavy periods, missed periods, endometriosis, fibroids, tenderness in the breast, PMS, hot flashes, any of that crap. Okay. The liver has a lot to do with digestion. If you burp, that's from the stomach. But if you bloat or pass gas more than once a week, any farters out there? That is because your liver is not producing the enzymes to digest your food properly. Also, as soon as you eat, all the food goes from the intestines through the portal vein, and the liver filters it out. It should release a little bit of sugar in your bloodstream. So after you eat, you should still feel pretty good. Then in between meals, when you get, that your blood sugar goes down, the liver should release the rest. So if you ever have symptoms of low blood sugar, shaky, weak, headachy, aggressive, like, oh, I gotta eat, that means your liver's sluggish. If you eat a large meal and you feel like, oh man, I want to take a nap, that is also your liver. Matter of fact, type 2 diabetes, 99.8% of the time, is due to the liver. Okay, so skin tags. Does anyone know what skin tags are?
Yep.
Okay, skin tags come from the liver. Any skin tags? I have a skin tag. No skin tags. Okay. So yeah, almost everybody's raising their hands for this. That happens whenever you have a weak liver. Moles is another one. If you have any moles, that comes from the liver. If this trap muscle that goes down the neck and on top of the shoulders, it should be mushy, like in your arm.
Oh.
If it gets tight, that's liver. So how many people here have at least one symptom of liver? So if you're waking up and you can't sleep the whole night through, I know. If you can't sleep the whole night through, chances are your liver is a big part of that. I would stay off any unnecessary medication. Now there's some medication that's necessary, but if you can like Rogaine to grow hair, you can live without hair. You know what I mean? Tylenol, it's better to do other things for pain than take Tylenol. Tylenol is very bad for the liver. So I would stay off that. Dandelion, asparagus, and zucchini are very nourishing to the liver.
Oh, good.
Yep, and zucchini bread doesn't count though. But the other,
Dang it.
Because I
okay.
ate a whole loaf at one time. So
Oh,
I
you
thought
do?
maybe.
No, doesn't work. Too bad. Better raw. Okay, and then there are some herb supplements that if you just can't sleep the whole night through, if you contact me, I'll tell you what to do for it. Okay, so that's what I wanted to add to it. Dr. A doesn't cover why you wake up. He prepares you how to go to sleep. And I absolutely agree with all that. But no matter, even you do those rituals, if your liver's weak, you're going to wake up during the night. And the restorative sleep is huge because the only time the body heals efficiently is while we're sleeping. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to add. Thank you for letting me say
No,
my.
you're fine. In fact, that was one of the ways I got my kids to sleep, especially my son and my nephew. And I used to watch him when he was tiny. It's like, do you want to get tall like your daddy? Yeah. I said, well, then you have to go to sleep because that's when your body grows. If you don't go to sleep, then your body can't grow.
Right. And it can't heal. That's
Yeah.
why anytime you're sick, you got the flu, or a woman who's pregnant gets a little extra naps because that's the only time when your body can repair and heal. So it's very important. And it's important in losing weight too.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions about what I said? Anybody? How about what Deb has said?
What did you say the foods were for good for liver? Zucchini, what?
Dandelion,
Mm-hmm.
asparagus, and zucchini.
And zucchini, but they have to be fresh. They can't be.
The dandelion and the zucchini are better raw.
Raw. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Asparagus, you can steam it just until the color comes out. But you don't let it all mushy, you know.
I don't think I've ever had dandelion except for when I was in Italy. I had a dandelion salad. It was the leaves.
Yeah,
from
they're
what I
very good.
understand. Go ahead, Mary.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say my brother, he likes to have a protein drink in the morning instead of having a breakfast. That's his protein, but he throws a lot of greens in there. And he says, I go out and pick dandelions and throw them in my drink. He said that, obviously you got to worry, you can't be spraying your dandelions dead, and having that stuff. But that's what he does, is he puts it in his protein drink.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I do like Deb. I rinse mine off and just throw it in a salad. Tastes good in a salad. And actually, Dole Spring Mix has dandelion in it.
Oh, that's good to know.
So when you say dandelion, you're saying the leaves, not the actual dandelion flower?
Any part of the dandelion is edible, not palatable, because like the stem part, really, but the leaves, the root, and the flower, all of it is edible.
Yeah, I've just been seeing the recently dandelion tea that people make with the flower.
Mm-hmm. It helps the liver. It nourishes the liver, helps the liver heal.
Cool.
Also, it's a natural diuretic and helps the kidneys. Little extra plus.
Cool.
Okay, so what I was thinking about when Deb was sharing about the temperature and stuff helping. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, those of you who are on program doing the 5-in-1 program, but this happened for me, when you hit fat burn, you are like colder. Mm-hmm. Did that happen? Okay. So, and then I noticed recently when I go off plan, or I just have a day where I'm not following program 100%, that night when I sleep, I'll get sweaty, like hot. And I think it must be like a blood sugar thing, but it happens every single time. Anytime I eat something that's not on program, like that night for sure, I have horrible sleep. And I get like these weird night sweats, which I never noticed before, but I think it must be like a blood sugar thing. So
Yeah.
I was gonna
When
say, how old are you? Are we going into menopause?
no, maybe.
She's just a pop.
I'm
No.
43. But I never really understood the correlation between like, oh, if you don't get good sleep, you know, you probably won't be losing weight, or you could gain weight if you're not having good sleep. I never really understood, but I'm a firm believer now, just because of all these little symptoms I notice when I get out of fat burn. So I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what
liver can actually cause you to gain weight, especially around your midsection. That's where liver, you know, like if it's a woman's hips, that's her ovaries. If it is everywhere, like you got fat, stubby arms and stuff like that, and hands, that's thyroid. So there's different, but whenever it's around the gut, like a beer gut, like a guy has, that's from the liver.
Instead of being pear-shaped, I'm apple-shaped.
Me too. Okay, great. So are there any other questions? So we'll finish up with this next week. And Deb, you'll still lead us?
Sure.
You always
I
have to
can-
do a turfer.
No, isn't that funny? Yeah, so I have it the setup here. I can stick my phone here and send the boys outside and I'm good.
Okay, thank you very much. Great job. Great job. And this is so important, and I'm glad you were willing to teach it. I appreciate it. You did a
Thank
great job.
you. Yeah, sleep is vitally important. I was watching my brother with everything that's been going on with his husband, and knowing that he's not getting the sleep he needs, he got the shingles. That between the stress and the not sleeping and everything, he ended up getting shingles, which was really bad. And then his doctor messed up and put him on a medication that he was allergic to. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen the movie Hitch, when Will Smith blows up.
Yeah.
He looked like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was terrible. I had to take him over to the Instacare quickly, and it was bad. But a lot of it is he wasn't sleeping, and so now we've had a talk, and it's like, okay, you need to take these supplements that you've got, and then get your butt in bed. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so are there any final thoughts, questions, concerns before we close it for the night?
I just want to remind everyone on the Fitbit, for those that have it, they do have a program on there that you can go into that actually helps you with your breathing and your meditation and stuff.
Okay, cool.
I've done that. Yeah, I have.
And the Fitbit tracks your sleep, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And that's when I was reading this, it says, what is your sleeping schedule? How much sleep do you get? It's like, oh, I don't know. But guess what? It was all on my Fitbit thing. It's like, oh, I had 4 hours there. I had 6.5 hours there. So it's like I was able to figure out what my sleep schedule was because of that. But yeah, it's like if you have a Fitbit, join the thing. It's fun. Bev's smoking me.
And you're smoking me. Mine comes up, he keeps saying, are you sure you're not in a coma?
I don't know, Mary. You're doing pretty good.
While they're doing their schoolwork, and I'm making them, do their schoolwork, because my brother leaves and they'll start getting on to apps and different things, and I'm having to slap them around and say, no, get your work done. You've got 7 days left of school. Let's get it done.
So does anybody have an Apple Watch? Does it? I know it tracks fitness, but I haven't been able to find one that tracks steps.
I don't know. I have a Fitbit.
Everybody's a Fitbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my
I'll
kids,
have to-
I have 3 of my kids who have them, and then you guys. And so now I connect with everybody on the Fitbit app. It's fun. My communities.
Good for you.
But if you don't have a Fitbit, you can actually go on your computer and download the Fitbit app, and you can
Mhm.
still do it. There's a way to track it. My daughter told me the name of it. I don't remember what it is. I'd have to look it up, but I can let Mary know, and she can let you know.
Okay,
if
yeah,
you
we'll
want to do
post.
that.
Let's post it in our group, our Facebook group. Is that
I
okay?
can do that. Yep.
Okay. Thanks.
Cool.
All right. Well, last chance. Anybody? Well,
I'll
thank
just
you
say
all.
goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Thanks again, Deb.
Okay.
Night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.